When you come down the basement, the door to the outside is right here, and the tank is right there. So it's not very far. You can wheel it, move the stuff that's in the way there. You can wheel it and actually wheel it straight out onto the porch there and park your truck right outside, right out here. So it's not far at all. The tank, like I said, it's got wheels on the stand. I got stuff underneath it just so the weight wouldn't be sitting totally on the wheels. But once the water's out and everything, you can just wheel it right to the door. The top of the tank has a brace. As you can see, it's pretty wide, all the way over to here. And I'm thinking the light that I'm going to give you is going to be the one in the back. Right now it's a blue. I think I'll probably end up keeping this light for my other tank. But anyway, that's the tank. The pump is down here, and it's been so long I'm not sure what the output is, but it does well for this tank. Yeah, the pump would come with it, and the hoses and all that kind of stuff. And there you can see the hookup for the overflows. And I'll probably keep my other material that I use in my buckets and things for the other tanks. But that's the pump, the sump right there. And nothing really else to tell you. It's got a blue background. It's got an overflow on each side. I have some additional means to get the water to get into the sump, because when I set the tank up, it wasn't quite level, so one side was a little deeper than the other, so I fixed that with my own little system instead of trying to jack it up and breaking a tank or something. But anyway, it's not far. You just go right through there. I'll move that chair out of the way and wheel it out to the truck. And this is what the rest of the basement looks like. That's a 75, it's a 55 with a 40-gallon sump under it. There's another 75-gallon. That's 125 gallon. Just some babies in here. And this is my 320 gallon tank with a 125 gallon sump. And that's a pond. What the 125 gallon sump looks like. Comes in through those buckets on either side, drains through, goes through this 3-inch sponge, gets pumped out of there. Same thing with the other side. $125 gallon sump. Recommend for this tank is to looks like a 55 gallon tank would fit underneath there and make a sump out of it. That would be better than that plastic container. I did that for my 125 I have a 55-gallon tank underneath here that I turned into a sump. Yeah, this 125, I put a 55-gallon tank, turned it into a sump underneath here. It works pretty good. It just evaporates too much because there's not a top on this tank. I used to have a flower drain bed on the top and plants growing on it, but I ended up taking it off, and now the top's kind of open. But yeah, I would take a 55-gallon and do it on the other tank over there the same way. It should fit. And a 75-gallon. There's my 55-gallon. I've had this thing for, gosh, 45 years. Here's a little 50-gallon with a sump underneath it. I think sumps are the only way to go. You do them right, you hardly ever have to touch them. And here's what the 220 looks like with more light on it. It's a good tank. Never any trouble. Bunch of convict cichlids in that tank. And all the way over there is a 180-gallon. With a homemade sump in the back. So my wife said, sell some tanks. It's getting too expensive. Electricity bill's too high. This is the filter system. There's an overflow there. These are 3-inch sponges in the corner here that I put in with some 1-inch glass, and it bends and the water gets pumped out from behind it. So it's like a filter on either side. And then here's the overflow in the back and the filter system. Goes through those buckets full of sponges and things. Never have to touch this tank, just clean the glass. Right now it's got some algae on the glass. But other than that, you barely have to look at it.